Hi, my name is Junon Choi, jazz guitarist and educator. After long years of learning scales that never worked, I trained a real apprenticeship method from Rich Hart, the way Wes and Django actually saw the fretboard. My goal is pass that on to jazz guitar lovers. In the last video, I talked about why jazz guitar has to start from melody, not scales or shapes. Today, I want to go one step further because some of you might still be thinking, okay, but scales are still important, right? Let's talk about that. Here is a hard question. If scales and modes are the answer, why are so many jazz guitarists still stuck after 5, 10, even 15 years? They know all the modes, they know altered, melodic minor, diminished. So why does their solo still sound like a collection of exercise? At some point, we have to admit something is wrong. Here is the truth that most people don't want to hear. Scales don't teach you how to play music. They teach you how to move your fingers. That's it. If scales were the solution, every Berkeley graduate would sound amazing. But that is not reality. Because scales are descriptive, not directive. They describe what is available, but they don't tell you what matters. When you improvise, thinking in scales, you are always late. The chords already changed and you are still choosing a scale. That delay kills phrasing, it kills time feel, it kills directions. That's why scaled based solo sound like they are reacting instead of speaking, aiming to what is going to happen in soon time, sometime later. The jazz is language, and no one speaks a language by reciting the alphabet in real time. Great players don't choose notes, they follow melody of the song. They hear where the line is going before their finger move. That's why their playing sounds inevitable, like it couldn't have gone any other way. The great Peter Bernstein is the perfect example. And that inevitability does not come from scales. It comes from understanding how melodies are constructed. This is why voice lead jazz guitar, we don't ask what scale fits here. We ask what is the melody already doing. Because melody already solved the problem. Your job is not to decorate harmony. Your job is to continue the story from the melody. Jazz standards are not random. In circle of fifth progressions, melodies consistently target the third of the chord. That is the voice leading, by the way. not because it is theoretical, but because that is where harmony moves. Composers knew this, so they wrote it into the melody. If you ignore the melody and jump straight to the scale, you are skipping the blueprint of the song. So let's see the autumn leaves. That autumn leaves in key of G minor. So the first chord is being C minor, and then melody goes, and then you hear that melody goes to the third of the chords, and the second chord the melody just holds it, but then every other measure the melody targeting the third of the chord when the melody note is happening, and then it just hold it over there for the next chord, and then it goes to the next melody. Still it targets the third of the chords where it going to. Third, okay. Right? Once your melody is clear, the upper structures stop being mysterious. They are no longer advanced theory. They are just the natural extension of what the melody already implies. That's how Charlie Parker Bebop was played from this standard tune, for example, All the Things You Are. At this stage, you are not stacking sounds, you are revealing what is already there. I will show you how you can see the upper structures on the fretboard. So from the C minor 7, like this structure, if you see it, just don't play the root, play the major 7, drop 2 voicing on top of the root. Then this chord is major 7, while the bass chord, the lower structure chord, the original chord was minor, but then upper structure is major 7 from the tone we targeted, the E flat, the third. So it converts the quality of the chords, and the root of the upper structure is the third, the notes that we were targeting. So this is E flat major 7, the bass is C, and the next chord F7. Look at this, when it goes to the next chord F7, the top notes could be just be the same, right? Just one note, voice lead down to the F7, and then the other note just can be stay there. So on the F7, the upper structure is E flat major 7 flat 5, and then it goes to B flat major 7. If we don't play this root and put the ninth tension up top and then put this upper structure with the tension 9 is a D minor 7. So when the bass chord, the lower structure chord is major, it converted to the different chord type, which is minor, and then the root is being the third of that chord, the note we targeted. This is D, the third, and this is D minor 7. And then it goes to the next chord is E flat major 7. So it already turned it around on one rotation. What I mean by that is it comes back to the first chord function, the E flat major 7. This is E flat major 7, and these two chords connected in the one shape of Django line. And then it goes to A minor 7 flat 5, which is also when we play this F7, it was the upper structure was this like this, but then if we don't play this extended tension and just put it like this, this is A minor 7 flat 5, the upper structure of the F7. So we came back to the A7, A minor 7 flat 5, right? And then D7 we play diminish. How this becomes the diminish? Because A minor 7 flat 5, this first string and the sixth string is just the same note, right? If this is A and this is A, so this is same A minor 7 flat 5 like this, and then A minor 7 goes to the D7 is this one note voice leading. The other three notes just stay there, the same notes, and it makes a beautiful diminished sevenths. Does it make sense? Isn't it much easier to memorizing all different kind of scales? Now we can expand, and now the expansion makes sense. Same melodic idea, same logic, just expressed across octaves. This is why Django line that I showed you earlier and West line work. Not because they are guitar tricks, but because they preserve melodic identity while expanding the ranges. This is where the fretboard opens up. So I already showed you the how Django line connect in this diagonal shape, and then E flat major 7 the first chord, and the second chord is the same as the first chord, E flat major 7 flat 5, stays in the same line, same structure. But when it goes to the B flat major 7, we going to this West line. and then right back to the E flat major 7 Django line again, and then A minor 7 flat 5 is still the same function, so we keep stayed in this Django line until this diminish happens. I was having a little fun, I'm sorry. So here is what usually happens. Players who rely on scales get uncomfortable here, because this approach exposes how much they have been avoiding melody. No shapes, no hide behind, no patterns to default to. Just sound, movement, and direction. That's why this method works. If you want to see how this logic appears in real master level playing, not theory explanations, but actual musical decisions, that is exactly what Jazz Icon vs Insight is about. You can find that on my website. That is Wes Montgomery's transcription of 3 tunes: Fly Me to the Moon, All the Things You Are, and unreleased Autumn Leaves recording of Wes Montgomery. I transcribed one of each his choruses, and I explained in his logic West line and Django line, and I tried to navigate on the fretboard with this upper structure explanation. So this is not entertainment content, it is apprenticeship material. And if this way of thinking is new to you, start where it is safe. On my website, voiceleadjazzguitar.com, I will put the link below. I offer 2 hours of free lessons that rebuild your foundation without overwhelming you. Register at my website and enter VoiceLead JazzGuitar ecosystem. In the next video, I am going to show you something practical. I will take one standard and demonstrate how this exact logic works without touching a scale once. If you have ever felt trapped inside shapes and patterns, that video is for you. I will see you there. Until next time, keep swinging. Bye.